Welcome back to the Jello Jiggler podcast. I am your host, Ryan Ward, and the Lakers got another much-needed win against a good team, if not great team. They came out on top 104-98 against the Houston Rockets. It was a back-and-forth battle. I honestly thought this one was going to go into overtime, just like every freaking game over the past week or so has seemed to be, like a like edge of your seat, kind of nothing easy, game of runs type of game. I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm exhausted right now. I'm so tired. But I'm going to power through this. It was impressive. I think the impressive part about this is the big three, LeBron, Luka, and Austin Reaves didn't really play well, at least not offensively, right? They were kind of, just didn't have it going. To give you exact figures here, LeBron had 16 points, 5 for 12. I mean, he didn't really try to put his imprint on the game offensively. Luka, 20 points, which is, I mean, very uncharacteristic for him lately. 6 for 16, 1 for 7 from deep. Another one of those games where he just couldn't get going shooting the basketball. Reaves was even worse. 5 for 11, 0 for 3 from deep, 12 points. But it didn't matter, and that's kind of the key to this game. This is what I was most impressed by. It wasn't Rui that stepped up. He actually had kind of a bad game, 3 for 10 for 7 points. Vando keeps being a concern for this team. 10 minutes off the bench. I mean, he helped crash the glass. Six rebounds, but he was basically nothing. I mean, it was a no-show. 1 for 6 from the floor. It's getting kind of painful to watch him now. And then Goodwin too. He didn't really do much either. 12 minutes off the bench, 4 points. Connect played 4 minutes. Didn't even get a shot up. But that's the story of this game was Gabe, Vincent, and Dorian Finney-Smith, or DFS. They were lights out, man. I mean, Luka was hitting them with passes all night long to wide open, or as DFS would say, butt naked, wide open. And they were just nailing shots left and right. It was really cool to see because it keeps this trend keeps continuing, which I haven't seen the last couple of years covering the Lakers. They haven't had shooters, not dependable shooters anyway. Or they have guys that, it's like Malik Beasley when he came over in that trade with D'Lo and Vando. Everybody was going crazy, like, oh, we finally got this knockdown 3-point shooter, and now he's like balling out for Detroit. But he was awful as a Laker. It became a trend where guys would get traded or signed by the Lakers, and they would just not be the same dude anymore. They couldn't hit shots from outside. Beasley was probably one of the most recent ones. Gabe Vincent was another one until, fairly recently, where he has just been super dependable and just lights out. Every shot he hit tonight was a 3-pointer, every single one. And that's kind of the way it should be for a guy like him and DFS for that matter. DFS, every shot he hit was a 3-pointer. 6 for 11 for DFS, 6 for 13 for Gabe Vincent. They were just... It was awesome to watch. It was just awesome because it's gotten to that point now when the ball swings to those guys and they've got space, and they have space pretty much every damn time. The thought is they're going to make it. It's a weird feeling, to be honest. Covering the team for as long as I have and seeing the ups and downs, I haven't seen shooters like this, consistent shooters like this, and that the team as a whole didn't shoot well at all, right? 39% from the field and 34% from deep. It was just these two guys that were just draining threes. I mean, 12 threes between the two of them, 20 points each off the bench. They both matched Luka's total for the game. They were just awesome, and it's just great to see because now the Lakers really have these role players that they can depend on. And Rui usually is one of these guys, right? But he just had an off night. A lot of guys had an off night. Jackson Hayes didn't do anything either. That's 2 straight games for him. 3 rebounds, 3 points. He attempted 2 shots in 14 minutes. JJ's not liking what he's seeing from him, obviously. I think he gave him some praise pregame, I think. But clearly he's been off the last couple of games. But, it's 2 games. It's against teams that know how to play defense. So it's a concern, but I love the fact that they're big 3. Kind of crazy we can call them a big 3 now, but I think that's pretty legit. Reaves, Luka, and LeBron in that order. No, I'm just kidding. But they can depend on these guys now. They can lean on these role players. They can lean on Rui. They can lean. Gabe Vincent's not a complete zero, kind of like what he was when he first came back from his injury, right? He is just. I mean, he's just stroking the basketball. It's like I said, when he gets the ball, I have more of an optimistic feeling that he's going to hit it than miss it. And I hadn't said that I don't think I've said that about him the entire time he's been a Laker. I mean, it's only been almost 2 years now, but it's cool. It's cool to see. And I think it's a very good time for that to happen, because obviously with the playoffs right around the corner, they got 7 games now. And the clock is ticking down, and they got another big game coming up. I believe it's Thursday in LA against Golden State. Golden State is another team that's been playing really well since the trade deadline. Jimmy Butler just seems to fit, which is crazy because I didn't think that was going to be the case. I thought by now him and Jimmy Butler would have gone to blows or had some kind of confrontation in practice or on the floor or something, some kind of drama, right? But those guys just seem like they've put all that crap aside, and they're like, hey, look, we play well together. So let's make this happen. Golden State's a threat. They are. They're not an OKC. They're not a Denver or even a Houston, I would say. But they're in the mix, right? They're going to scare some people. And I think even this Houston team, I was impressed by how good they were. They lost tonight, yes, but they could have very easily won this game if things went one way or another for them. They just lack that star power, right? Like you look at Golden State, they got 3 guys that are legit stars, right? And one mega superstar in Steph Curry. Houston just has Sengun, who's a really good player, kind of like a poor man's Jokic, right? And then Thompson, who I actually was impressed with probably the most tonight from Houston's side of things. I was like, damn, dude, if the Lakers could trade for this guy in the offseason, they should try to make it happen. I don't think Houston's giving that guy up. They know what they have with that kid. They know he's really good. He's just really good defensive player. I mean, he's not great offensively, but he does enough to stay on the floor, right? What did he end up with tonight? I was just really, as an on-ball defender, that guy was a stud. I mean, he led the team in scoring. Just putting my foot in my mouth right now. 2 steals, 2 blocks, 20 points. Game high, game high, because nobody scored more than 20 points on both teams. But they're good, man. They got some good young players. And Dylan Brooks is Dylan Brooks, whatever. He's a scrappy defender, kind of a pain in the ass, but whatever. He is what he is. Sengun, 14 points, almost a triple. Well, kind of almost a triple double. 7 rebounds, 6 assists. That he's a stud. He's not an absolute monster like a Jokic or like a Giannis or whatever, but he's on his way. I think he made his first All-Star team this season, so he's a good player. Van Vliet was a complete zero, played 40 minutes and scored 7 points, and I think they lean on that guy a lot. He did have 9 assists though, so there's that. But if he's not scoring, I think this team kind of falters a little bit. See who else we got. Jalen Green too. He didn't really do anything. Kind of pissed me off because he was in my picks to score like 22.5 points or something. Scored 9. Didn't even crack double digits. So thanks, Jalen Green. That's twice that I've leaned on that guy, and he's done the same exact thing. So I'm never doing that again. And he just won Western Conference Player of the Week. He beat out Austin Reaves, pissed off a lot of people, and Luka. Actually, they were both nominees for that. And then Jabari Smith off the bench. I like that kid. I think he's really good. 15 points, 11 rebounds. 10 Tari Eason, who I don't really know that much, but he had some moments. He got teed up for barking, which I think that probably pissed me off more than anything. I mean, I'm I'm an objective viewer to a certain extent. I mean, obviously, I'm a Laker guy and an LA guy or whatever, but I still look at basketball as that's my one true love. That is the core of me, right? So I'm coming from seeing Magic and Bird when I was super young and I really couldn't comprehend what I was watching. To Nick Van Exel, Eddie Jones, then Kobe, then Shaq. Um, that is probably one of my favorite eras of Lakers basketball. And then Jordan. I was obsessed with Jordan, just like every kid growing up in the '90s. And you couldn't take your eyes off the screen when you were watching that guy play. But the game was so much different in terms of physicality and the refs just letting them play, right? And now it's like, I think who got tangled up? It was Steven Adams and DFS, I think, got tangled up. And it was nothing. It was nothing. And they got double techs. Like, what? What the hell is the league doing? I don't understand. It's going to get to the point. And then this Eason kid, this young kid dunks like a crazy sick dunk. And then he says something, and somebody I heard later on said that he was just yelling at his bench, just trying to pump everybody up. And he got a tech for it. I was like, are you kidding me? So at some point down the line, we're not going to be able to touch anybody or speak to anybody, even if it's not directed at an opponent. It's just stupid. Like, let them play. I know they're coming off that scuffle between, what was it, Detroit and Minnesota, right? And it got heated, but there were no punches thrown. It was a huge pushing match with people just falling all over each other. There wasn't blood. There wasn't, nobody went to the hospital. I'm surprised there hasn't been suspensions handed down. But and I'm sure the league has, warned the refs, hey, look, don't let things get out of control because we want our guys healthy for the playoffs. That's all I care about. But I don't know. It just annoys me. I'm just like, I know this is a little mini rant here, but I had to say something because it really pissed me off today. I was like, dude, what can you do? Where's the line? And at what point was that line put in the sand? And just be like, okay, well, you can't really talk shit anymore. You can't, pump yourself up and your teammates and, get in people's faces and that's what this game is about, passion and then loving the game and wanting to be the best you could possibly be. And that, crosses lines at times and it elevated levels of emotion and things. And you're going to have outbursts. It's just going to happen. But why penalize it? You should be like, there's reasons why ratings are down and people are tuned out and different generations are just like, I don't want to watch this game anymore. It's because it's not the same game. It's just stuff like that. Just let it go. Who gives a shit? Like, yes, they got in each other's face. Yes. And they were laughing about it afterwards. Like literally 30 seconds after they were assessed double text. Adams and DFS are laughing about it. Laughing. Because they just got a little extra physical. Because they're both like that. They're both, physical guys. Adams for sure. I think recently he just got into it with Plumlee, right? Mason Plumlee. And they got ejected or whatever. And that was way more physical, right? But I just don't get it. I don't know why they put such an emphasis on stopping this stuff. It's like they're acting like it's going to be the Malice in the Palace every single time things get, a little physical. Like, give me a break, dude. Like, it heightens the level of play. It gets the crowd into it. It gets the players into it. It gets the coaches. It gets the bench. Literally everybody in the building gets affected by it. And it just raises the level. And you want to watch it that much more. It's like, okay, if you don't have guys like Dylan Brooks in the league, like villains, guys that embrace that villain role and they want to be the bad guy, do you know how boring this shit would be? Like, would you really want to watch it? Like, come on. You got to have villains. You got to have bad guys. You got to have guys to get in your face. And, Isaiah Stewart, yeah, he looked crazy the other day, but at the same time, I was like, yes, Can we get more of these scuffles and these guys really getting heated and rivalry? This is how rivalries get started. Like you go back and you look at Lakers Celtics in the 80s, the Showtime Lakers, those guys were destroying each other's bodies. Like the clothesline from McHale on Rambus. Even Kareem, like Kareem, soft-spoken, Mr. You there's all sorts of things you could say to describe Kareem. But I mean, not saying he didn't have an edge to him. He definitely had an edge to him. But the Celtics brought that out to the surface like way more than it was before. It just made that iconic. It made that rivalry iconic. It made basketball that much more fun to watch. It becomes something that's people, refer back to. Say like the Showtime Lakers, the Bird Celtics. It was just intense. It was you wanted to watch every single minute. And those guys didn't play all the time, right? Because obviously East and West, but it's something we'll never forget. I don't know if we're going to have that anymore. What rivalries in the NBA do you really have now? Yes, there's Celtics and Lakers, but they don't hate each other. They're more buddy than anything. I do think that's part of the reason why the game has taken a hit, right? Like in terms of ratings and all that stuff. I'm going way on a tangent here. This is way off track here, but I just feel like I got to say it because I think I've been holding it in for a while. I just wish it was more like that. I want to see a Dylan Brooks on every team, right? Every team's got their guy, their scrappy little dude. Like Jemison was turning into that. Now he never sees the floor. I'm not quite sure what happened there. He was a DMP for sure. Yeah, DMP. Quite a few DMPs. Alex Len still DMP. I'm sure they regret that signing. Jemison, Milton, Bronny James. Excuse me, Markieff Morris. But these guys, you kind of expect them to be that. I'd say the only guys, there's a couple guys. Vando's got an edge. DFS got an edge. Goodwin definitely has an edge. In terms of physicality and like embracing that kind of style of play. Morris does, but he's never going to see the floor. Jemison does. He's never going to see the floor. He might if this Jackson Hayes keeps getting worse. I don't anticipate it being that way, especially playing Golden State. What is he going to post? That guy Quentin Post, I think his name is, and Looney. I don't think they're really going to strike too much fear in the Lakers and make Hayes ride the bench. But anyway, rant over. I think this was a good win. They got, was it 45 now? Let me just reload just in case. I believe it's 45 wins. 46 wins. 29-9 at home, which is amazing. They're not that great away, obviously. But where's the standings affected? I don't know if anybody moved up or down. So the Lakers in fourth now, and they're only one game back of Denver. Denver, who's 5-5 in the last 10. So the Lakers, if they didn't win tonight, would have been the same. But it's been tight. It's not getting tight. It's been tight. So they're 2.5 back of Houston. Like I said, OKC is kind of like going after history rather than anything else. They've won 10 in a row. That's crazy. And they're resting their guys every other game. You know what is nuts, though, is the Lakers and OKC almost have identical home records. OKC's better, but not by much, by 2 games, 29-7. That's insane. Oh, you know what? I just screwed that up. That's their away record. Holy shit. Their home record is 33-5. I know the Lakers have the third best home record. I think it's either Boston or Cleveland has a better. Yeah, okay, so Cleveland has a better one. They're 32-5. So, but I mean, that's why home court advantage was kind of so important. I know that everything changes when the playoffs come around. Everything changes. But it's still, a positive you can kind of somewhat lean on and something that JJ could use and say, hey, look, we don't lose here, and pump his guys up. But yeah, it's getting tight, man. Even the Clippers are looking really damn good because Kawhi looks like old Kawhi. And that could be a potential matchup for the Lakers. I think this is possibly who they're going to play, Houston, when things shake out. Obviously, we still got 7 games left. We got 7 games left. April 13th, I believe, is the last game against Portland in Portland. A few crucial games. Golden State's going to be a crucial game. 2 games against OKC, and obviously it doesn't matter who the hell they play. They're still friggin' good. That's why, I mean, they're good on a historic level at this point, which is crazy because all that talk was kind of geared toward Cleveland for the majority of the season, and now it's like tilting toward OKC's way because Cleveland's lost five of their last 10 games, so they're not. But I think they've taken their foot off the gas pedal as well because they've clinched already. Boston's clinched, New York's clinched in the East. They're not too worried about this. Whereas in the West, OKC is the only team that's clinched a playoff spot, and there's still 7 games to go. I mean, everybody's going to have different amount of games left, like it would be 8 or 9 or whatever, or less maybe. But that's kind of wild. That shows you right there how it's going to shake out, right? Like there's who knows how this is going to go. I mean, even the Kings are in the plan right now, and Phoenix has dropped out, and I think Phoenix is going to plummet now because Kevin Durant's out for a week with an ankle sprain, which I saw last night, and it didn't look good. It looked pretty nasty. What else we got here? What else was I going to go over? But yeah, Gabe Vincent, Dorian Finney-Smith, awesome. If they keep doing that, they're going to be, heavily in the rotation in the playoffs, which I mean, that was kind of a given. But and then they got Golden State up next on Thursday, and that's going to be another tough physical game. Like I said, they don't think they have the the bigs that are really going to worry them all that much, but they're good all around, right? So it's going to be a tough and tall task, and I don't know how it's going to go. I wouldn't be shocked. This is how crazy this is. I wouldn't be shocked if the Lakers lost all 7 games of the last 7 games, and I also wouldn't be shocked if they won all 7 games. That's how nuts all this is, and unpredictable it is. You look at all the games, the last few games, it's all been decided by single digits, and some like by 2 or 3 points, like one possession. Right? It's cool. It's cool in the sense that it's playoff basketball already. I tweeted that out today while watching the game. It's like, man, it feels like the Lakers have been in the playoffs for like a week already because every game has been, edge of your seat, thrilling finish, game winners. It's against good teams, and Chicago, ironically enough, got their asses handed to them tonight, I believe, by OKC of all teams. Let me see what the score was. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. So OKC basically did what Chicago did to the Lakers today. Another thing to just be like, this is how good OKC is, right? 145-117. Ouch. I kind of like Chicago. I kind of like their attitude, their kind of resilience. They seem like a team that could be good in a couple years. Maybe they'll be a threat next year. I'm sure they'll be a playoff team next year, especially if they can add another guy or two. But yeah, so Thursday, let me go. Hold on a sec. Excuse me. I always gotta like burp and stuff when I get on the podcast. So I don't know what's going on with me. There's the constant talking. A lot of people don't realize when you do this, you don't have a lot of practice talking consistently for 30 minutes or like 25 to 30 minutes. It's something that seems easy that you don't even think about. But then when you do it, you're like, okay, it's not as easy as I thought. I feel for those radio guys have to do that for like 3-4 hours, right? I mean, obviously they got breaks and stuff, but like just imagine like basically recording 3 or 4 podcasts in a row. That's got to be tough. Even one guy told me he worked for ESPN. He's like, dude, like a week or 2 into the season, one of our guys had to get throat surgery because of this. And I'm like, wow. It's like just stuff you don't even think about. Anyway, so we got Golden State, New Orleans, OKC in OKC. Dallas. I totally forgot about the Dallas game. Houston again, and then Portland. So there's some tough games in there. The only games I'd really write off is like teams that have no incentive to win is New Orleans, obviously. Zion just got ruled out for the season today, and so did CJ McCollum. They're basically a G League team right now. Portland, I think they actually might be in the running for the play-in. I think I could be totally wrong about that. I feel like somebody said that the other day. No, I don't think so. No, they'd have to go on a crazy run. Yeah, they lost 4 in a row. Yeah, they're tanking. They're done. So I'm gonna do a better job of organizing this to get back to things quickly. But so okay, those 2 games you can kind of write off. I mean, they could potentially be trap games, right? Like the Lakers just don't take them seriously, and then they get their ass handed to them, like Chicago, right? The first time. But Golden State is going to be one to watch. It's nationally televised, no surprise. OKC. Both games are going to be ones to watch. They get so it's a Sunday, April 6th, and then Tuesday, April 8th. So they're hanging out in OKC for days, right? Which is weird. But at least it's not a back-to-back, I guess, right? It technically is, but it's just not, one day to the next. And then Dallas, there's going to be a lot of emotion in that game, especially if AD's playing, which I'm sure he's going to try and make sure he's playing that game because it's going to be in Dallas. Crowd's going to be crazy. I'm sure Luka will get a tribute video, and Luka will want to go off for 40. So who knows how that game goes because they're getting their guys back healthy. I think Gafford just came back today. AD's back. I think they're like managing his minutes while also like resting him on back-to-back situations. I don't know how many more they have of that, but he's back, put it that way. And he's going to want to play that game, and I don't blame him. And then there's Houston, which will be another big one because I mean, at that point, April 11th, I'm betting things are going to be set, but it could be the difference between one seed up or down, or maybe even 2, right? So it's still a game to watch, right? So out of the last 7 games, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games are going to be ones you're going to want to watch and could potentially be important. Like I said, Dallas, just for the emotional side of things, I think Dallas will probably get in the plan or get close. But you throw out Portland. Portland doesn't care. All their guys are done. New Orleans, I think New Orleans has quit a long time ago, and they just today were like, "Hey, let's shut down these 2. They don't need to play the last stretch here," and that'll be in LA. So out of these last 7, they've got 4 away games, which also kind of sucks, but should be interesting. It's gonna. Who knows where this goes, where it ultimately all lands. Because I don't know what the other schedules are like for these guys, whether it's tough or not. I just know for sure that the Lakers do have one of the toughest remaining schedules in the league, which is not ideal. But it might be good in terms of getting ready for the playoffs, getting ready to face teams that can beat you on any given night, right? And especially getting a look at OKC, and getting a look at Golden State, and getting a look at Houston, all teams that you could potentially face. I think whoever is in the West is going to have to go through OKC at some point. I think they're that damn good. I think they're the favorite to go to the finals, and I think they'll probably go to the finals. I don't see anybody in the West beating these guys in 7 games. I just don't. Unless some freak injury happens in the next week, they're just too damn good. 10 straight wins, and they're resting guys every other game. They're that good. They're just a well-oiled machine. They just have all the right tools, and it feels like their time, right? But we'll see. Anything can happen. That's the fun part about the NBA and the playoffs, especially when you get in the playoffs, is literally anything can happen. And I think this Laker team has proven when they're locked in and everybody's bought in defensively, because the defense is the big question mark here. Defense and depth in the front court. are going to be the two big things that they're going to have to figure out. Because, I mean, God forbid Hayes goes down or continues to play this poorly. What are you going to do? You going to throw Alex Len out there? I mean, that guy's probably not even in shape right now. Like, they're not even practicing. It's or Morris. I mean, it's not a good situation when it comes to that. But I still think they have the talent to where they can eke through. It's going to be margin for error is going to be so small. But I feel like that's been the case for the Lakers for the last ever since 2020. Just the margin of error is so small, and the competition in the West just keeps getting better. So, I'm curious to see what it's going to be like in Golden State. I think they can contend. I think they can win that game. Like I said, I think they can win all 7 games the rest of the way. But I also think they can lose all 7. So it's literally 50-50 right now. I just don't know. None of us know. We can guess, and we might be wrong. I mean, it could be Chicago all over again, right? 146 points, which hopefully doesn't happen. But 3 out of the last 4 games is wins. That's a positive, and 3 out of those 4 games are against playoff teams, 2 in the West. So promising. It's good. It could potentially be really good. And let's hope it goes that direction, because Lakers going to need all the help they can get. But until next time,